Hello, my name is Jason J. Rock Houston, and this is Riff TV. Our special guest today is Brad Lang. Brad, you're a bass player in the Volt Boys these days, and so let's talk a little bit about how you got the gig.
Okay, well, last year, just after Christmas, um, uh, I got a call,
Yeah.
and from friends that I played with, Ira Black and Jessica Chase. I've been involved with Ultimate Jam Night and doing a
Okay.
bunch of stuff in LA. I live in Sacramento, so every time I was down in LA, I would
Wow.
go play Ultimate Jam Night,
Yeah. Yeah.
it was a blast. So then the Bullet Boys gig came up, and Ira and Jessica shot me a call and said, "Can you be on a plane in 4 days?" And I said, "Yeah."
And so, was the gig pretty much yours, or was there an audition process as far as you having to go and jam with the guys?
My audition was yes.
Okay.
So,
Wow. That's cool. What a
so
cool way to get.
like I said, I had played with these guys.
Yeah.
I played with Ira, and Jessica is one of the organizers of Ultimate Jam Night in Hollywood. They
Yeah.
do it on Tuesday nights at the Whiskey A Go Go, which is a crushing place to do it. So anyway, I've been involved with that while I was playing in Y&T. So and we had jammed together. We had
Yeah.
played on stage together. First time I reconnect. Ira and I are both from Sacramento originally. Actually, Ira was born in Sacramento, probably 10 minutes from where my place is now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we had known each other, and we reconnected when he was playing with a Hellion with
Okay.
Ann and Simon. Simon Wright and anyway, so we played a show together in Chicago and
Wow.
really be connected and so forth, and then kept crossing paths and playing together, and then when the Bullet Boys when Mark approached Ira and Jessica about reforming the Bullet Boys after the original lineup imploded.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you know the backstory and all that
Sure.
shit
Sure.
too.
Sure. Yeah.
And so they called me on a Sunday, and I was in LA on Wednesday or something like that. We had one rehearsal and
Yeah.
flew to Florida together, and pretty much crushed it.
Yeah,
So
what I love about this is the fact that, like you said, the original lineup it kind of imploded again, and for Mark to go out and get such a great class of musicians, and it seems like the fans are loving this lineup in spite of there's not doesn't seem to be a big deal about all the original guys they broke up. It just seems like you guys are just moving on, and the fans are accepting it.
yeah, it was there was a little bit of grumbling and so forth from different sources and so forth, but it's all about the music anyway. I played in Y&T for 6 years. Those aren't my songs, but you know what? I play them like they're my songs.
And you mentioned being from
That's
the
a
Bay
play.
Area, and of course Y&T are Bay Area heroes, right?
Oh, totally. No, when the Black Tiger record came out, it was one of my first compact discs
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm with you.
after cassettes.
Yeah,
And because I lived in my car. So,
yeah,
driving around and blasting the cassettes in my Pioneer KP 500.
yeah.
And then one of my very first CDs was Black Tiger. And dude, I played that song forever, 5 bazillion times in a row.
I'm right
It's
with
just
you.
like
I'm an old school guy.
it touched me.
Yeah, I still listen to CDs. I still love to have a physical CD in my hand or something.
Absolutely.
Like you said, going in your car, listening to a CD, just rocking out. I think kids these days miss the experience of what it was like to go to a record store. There used to be a place where you'd go to buy the music besides online.
Well, you know what? For me, I probably have a little bit of ADHD because I never had the patience for record stores.
Yeah.
So it was always my buddies turning me on to stuff.
Oh, there you
Hey,
go.
you got to check out Y&T. You got to check out Scorpions. Because I was raised on radio, so whatever
Sure.
was on the radio, that's what I was listening to. And then my my bandmates who, you know, when I started playing bass when I was in junior high, you know, my buddies would turn me on to stuff. I remember when I was a freshman in high school and I had just been playing bass a year, and my buddy Bob Blewett, who was a drummer, he walks up to me with this album in his hand. He's kind of got both arms around it, and I can kind of see it's a black album. And I see the red star and the guy on the back of the cover, and I turn it over, and it's 2112.
Oh wow!
And it's just like,
that's right.
You know what I mean? That was a pivotal moment, and it's amazing that I remember so vividly turning over that cover, just seeing 2112, and it's like, what is this? He goes, "This will change your life," and he was right.
Sure. And you know, I got to ask you, being from the Bay Area, what was it like from, like you said, one of your first albums was Black Tiger. So when you get to the point in life where you actually go from being a fan to being a Y&T band member, what was that like?
I call it dreamland.
Yeah, I mean, you go from actually being a fan, you know, watch the band group on the van, to being on the stage playing those songs.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I've pretty much coined that phrase from myself. Dreamland. It's my dream to play in a band and dig the music as much as I play it. You know, dig hearing it as much as I'm playing it. Because, you know, since I was a kid in the school band, it was all about the performance of songs. It wasn't about, this is my song.
Yeah.
You know, and everything else sucks compared to this. And player, you know, being a guitarist or a pianist. He said pianist. You know, you can play by yourself. You know, here's a song and blah blah blah. But being a bass player, you got to have a band, dude. You got to have a band.
And you know, and
people. So playing with guys, playing with guys like Minnekedi, and Vanderhule and Nyman and Y&T. That band was so it was great. It was dreamland.
Yeah, I bet. And you know, what people got to understand is when you have that dream of being a professional musician, and you finally get that opportunity, you know, one of these bands that you grew up on, if it's, you know, if these are playing songs that you wrote or not, that's a major gig. Who would not take that, right? So you know what I'm saying is
absolutely, especially like I said, being a bass player, it's about playing with great guys.
Yeah, and you know, we talked a lot about you being from the Bay Area, and I got to ask, I know you played with Keith St. John, so I imagine Ronnie Montrose must have been an influence on you growing up. Montrose?
Oh, the Montrose record was huge.
Yeah.
Especially the rhythm section. You know, everybody's all Ronnie, but come on, between Denny and the Electric Church. Come on.
And the reason I ask I know you played with Keith St. John, and you played some of those Montrose tribute concerts that he put on.
Oh yeah, no, that was great. Because I pretty much already knew the Montrose catalog. As a matter of fact, I was playing in a band with a singer from one of the incarnations of Montrose, Paul Holgate. He was a singer with him like in the early 90s, I think, or you know, something around there. So Paul and I had a Montrose tribute band called Rock the Nation.
There you go.
As a matter of fact, it was with Steve Ribello was the guitarist, who is the lead guitarist for Trauma, who is out playing with Queensryche right now.
Yeah, of course.
So
many people know that was Cliff Burton's pre-Metallica band.
Absolutely. So it's a small circle. It's good. And
speaking of Keith St. John, I know you guys were in a band, Burning Rain. Is that still together? Is there maybe future music from that band?
I would certainly hope so. The problem with Burning Rain is everybody's so damn busy, you know,
Yeah,
between Doug and the Dead Daisies, Keith in Kingdom Come, and
yeah,
now
yeah,
Ross is playing in Kingdom Come too,
yeah,
and doing Raiding the Rock Vault in Vegas. I'm doing Bullet Boys. I do this thing during the holidays called Luminar Christmas, where we go out and play all these monster performing art centers, and it's
yeah.
all traditional Christmas music, but it's all with big guitars
Oh, cool.
and big production and so forth. So yeah, that all happens from Thanksgiving to Christmas.
Wow.
So everybody's busy. Everybody, like usually when things kind of close down around the holidays, dude, I'm out busting it out.
Yeah, there you
So
go. There you go.
it's just been a scheduling thing,
Yeah,
and especially for especially Doug and Keith, because they're and the Dead Daisies have been all consuming for Doug basically just after the release of the Burning Rain record, and that was 4 years ago.
well, yeah,
So it's just a matter of being. Yeah, I mean, my last show before the pandemic was the Monsters of Rock cruise with Burning Rain, and it was
oh, wow.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Everybody loves Burning Rain. It's just like you said, everybody's so damn busy. So
Yeah,
hopefully that'll be down the horizon eventually. Now, as far
I
as the
hope so. I hope so. I love the style of the music. When I first heard the demos for the Face of the Music record, it
yeah,
was like, hey man, this is like early Aerosmith, and it's like I say, fuck yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So
And see,
yeah,
so you've been in these great legendary bands. You got in a band like Burning Rain where you get to contribute and write some original music. So that's fun. Now, as far as the Bullet Boys, any plans for you guys to go in and make a record or CD or whatever you want to call it?
it is happening now.
Okay. And
So there you have it.
there you go. And you think that'll
There's
come out
already
maybe?
we're already demoing up songs. There's some cool, really cool tracks.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah.
And you're contributing to any of the writing?
Not yet, because I'm a Sacramento guy, and
Yeah,
for
yeah.
the last 6 months, I've been in Costa Rica.
Oh,
So,
wow.
and the thing is Ira and Mark have known each other for I think 12 years. So
Wow.
they're already a unit. You know
I
what I
got you. I
mean?
got
So yeah. So and I'm and as we get more into it, at this point it's been demoing and so forth
you.
and going back and forth. And as the band gets busier and we're together more, not just gigging,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
that's all going to happen. But we're we're pretty much on target to record a double record, a double album.
Wow, wow, yeah. How cool. Wow. Yeah, I think
Because
the
it's
last
been
band,
pardon.
last band to do that,
Say
I think
again.
maybe last band to do a double record, maybe Guns N' Roses in '91.
And there you have it.
Yeah, but yeah,
Yeah, those guys will never do anything.
yeah.
Pardon.
They don't need to, just tour and go out and play the greatest hits, and fans will come out and check them out.
Yeah,
But
but no, recording new music and playing new music is great too.
that's why I tip my hat to a band like the Bullet Boys, because you guys could get away with doing that, but I love the fact that it's all about creating new music for the fans still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing about the Bullet Boys live too, you have to pardon me. I got
Yeah.
the guys doing some welding here, and I just inhaled a bunch of welding smoke. Good times.
Yeah, there you go.
And yeah, I'm building a house here in Costa Rica, so it's been all consuming.
Oh, wow. You're really a busy guy.
Oh yeah. No, you know what? I don't always look this glamorous.
Yeah. Well, but you know what, Brad? You are a rock star, because like I said, I mean, when I heard, like, you've got one of those names, Brad Lang. When you hear like new Bullet Boys bassist Brad Lang, Ira Black, we're like, oh man, what a killer lineup.
Oh well, thank you.
Yeah, and again, you've been doing this long enough that your name is, you're at a point in your career, your name, does kind of mean something. I don't know if you're aware of that. I mean, I was just looking up all the stuff you've done. I forgot that you were a part of Bob Blotzer's Ratt. What was that like for you? Did you enjoy playing those Ratt songs?
Oh my God, that catalog is so killer.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah, and the band was on fire. Mitch Perry on guitar and Stacy Blades on the other guitar,
yeah,
and yeah, and Josh Allen kicked ass on vocals. So
yeah,
it was a great representation of the songs,
yeah,
and everybody really brought it. Everybody really brought it. So it was a crushing lineup.
yeah,
And then the lawyers came.
yeah, yeah. Well, and then you saw how it played out. I mean, they got back together, and then the feuding went on, and they're at a point where they would just rather not play together and play all.
Well, sometimes bands break up because of circumstances. Sometimes bands break up because of personalities.
Business, yeah.
And yeah, so to each his own. And I give it to him that they at least tried to put it back together, but everything works out for a reason.
Yeah, and again, I will say this, that like you said, that's a great catalog of music. So to get the opportunity to go and do that, that must have been fun. And then, all the
especially
players.
Juan's bass lines.
Yeah, yeah.
Juan, his bass lines are really complement the vocals and kind of add another layer and yeah, I remember when they got their gold record. I saw them at the Sacramento Memorial Auditorium, and back in the 1900s,
Yeah.
and yeah, I remember they were on fire. Juan was on fire, and like I said, I learned all those bass lines. I learned out of the cellar, top to bottom.
Yeah.
Great records deserve attention, and that was a great record.
And what people don't realize about Juan Croucier, besides being a great bass player,
Especially with Milton Berle in there.
Yeah, and a songwriter. I mean, like very much like Michael Anthony, he was the background vocal sound of Ratt.
Michael Anthony is one of my biggest influences.
Yeah,
yeah, Michael Anthony, Michael Anthony, Geddy Lee, and John Paul Jones. Those guys. My very first record that I bought at a garage sale next door for 25 cents when I was young was Led Zeppelin 2.
Wow.
And then when I did pick up the bass when I was 13, I learned it note for note.
Mm. So now, what made you pick up the bass? I mean, as opposed to wanting to be a guitar player or drummer? Is it
a friend of mine was playing bass in the junior high school band when I was in 7th grade, and he was playing bass in 8th grade for the Christmas program. And then when I went in and when he graduated and went on to high school, and I was in 8th grade and the Christmas program came around, when I saw him doing that when I was in 7th grade, it's like, that's what I wanted.
I want to do. Yeah. Wow.
That's what I want to do. Yeah. Because I had dabbled with guitar when I was young and so forth. But like I said, when I saw Bruce Beck playing bass, and that was my aha moment.
There you go.
For playing bass. Yeah.
And then like Geddy Lee, I mean, he's just amazing. I mean, not only what he does on the bass, he plays the bass, the keyboards, sings lead, and sometimes he does all three at the same time.
Yeah. And what let's see, I think was it Kansas Journey? Yeah, my second concert was Rush and UFO.
Oh wow, killer.
It was like, I'm in. Oh, and then I saw Pete Way hanging his toes off the front of the stage, all wide stance, sticking the head of his bass in everybody's face. It's like, that is what a live show is about. And that's the shit I'm not going to be afraid to do ever. Play every show like it's your last one, because you never know when it's gonna. You never know when it's gonna be your last show.
You mentioned that you guys are demoing material now. So is everybody recording stuff like in their home studios? Is that what's going on right now? And
Yeah. Well, I was got a killer setup. He's up in Santa Clarita, out at north of LA, and then I'm tracking everything remotely. You know, nowadays you can send wave files, and I've been recording on projects in Nashville and New York and all that stuff. But you just with bass, just need to get a clean signal,
Yeah.
and have a cool part and play it with a cool vibe, and you're golden.
Yeah.
That's
the last thing I wanted to ask you about before I let you go today is a lot of people may not realize that at one point Mark Torian was actually the guitar player briefly in Ratt. So what's it like?
Yes, correct.
Have you guys ever gone together, like played any old Ratt tunes together?
We have not. We've no. We're playing all Bullet Boys material, and the constant and like I said, when we're out playing it live, it's not a rigid set. It's not. There's times that it is total improvised.
Yeah.
And where it goes places, and it's cool. So
and how big of a Bullet Boys
fan?
It go. Yeah. How big of a Bullet Boys fan were you prior to joining the band, or I kind of wondering, did you become more of a fan once you joined the band?
Well, great. Cool songs are cool songs, and and a cool vibe is a cool vibe. So, when I recalled, it was like, okay, yes,
Yeah. So did you have to learn a lot of the songs?
It wasn't like, well, let me go back and check the. No, yes.
Yeah. But did you know a lot of the songs, or did you have to learn them?
I knew all the songs. I had heard all the songs, but you just got to put it. You got to make it go to your left hand. And get to the right frets. Get to the correct frets. So it was just a matter of learning the mechanics of it. But I already knew the songs and the arrangements and all that stuff. So as I was learning them, it wasn't like, okay, how does this song go? I already know how the song goes. I just need to know where these go.
Yeah. And I think a lot of fans have a misconception, maybe, oh, the Bull Boys, just those first 3 albums or whatever. But I urge people to go online and check out. They have a lot more, great albums than just those first 3 albums.
Yeah, no, there's some great cuts off. We're playing different songs off of. Well, one of my favorite songs, if not my favorite songs, is called Symphony off of Elefante, and it just has this vibe. It has lines and the phrasing and the way the vocals interact together. It's my favorite song to play, and it's one of my favorite songs to listen to.
Oh, wow.
Not just Bullet Boys. It's a great song to listen to.
Okay. And so you're living in Costa Rica these days, where you're building your house?
I'm standing right in front of it right now. I'm having garage doors installed right now.
Beautiful.
And it's just been, it's been
an experience. Yeah.
Say again?
An experience. I
missed the last thing that you said.
Yeah. I said you probably had quite an experience down there in Costa Rica.
This is our connection.
Yeah, we're losing it, but Brad, I want to thank you for doing this today. I'm going
to one last question.
Yeah. Thanks for doing this, Brad. I've enjoyed talking to you. The interview go up in about a week. Let's keep in touch. I'd love to talk to you again down the line. Take care.
Absolutely, and thank you for the kind words. Much appreciated. Cheers. Rock on.
You too, brother. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.